Could this really be better running artificial intelligence workloads than this? Well, let's find out. Hi, my name is Marcus, and in here we discuss all about enterprise technologies from servers to supercomputers. This video is sponsored by Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. First, let me clarify something. AI is a broad field. I mean, the simplest AI applications can be very simple. You can run them on a Raspberry Pi if you want. But what I'm talking about here today is the heavyweight. I mean generative AI and large language models. Yes, ChatGPT level AI. The most complex and resource-hungry AI out there. So, can a simple server run these massive AI workloads? Moreover, could you actually be better off running massive scale AI on a traditional server instead of a supercomputer? To answer that question, we need to understand the life cycle of enterprise AI projects. Now, every AI project looks a bit different, but on the high level, all of them consist of the following three high-level phases: data collection, training, and inferencing. First, we need a lot of data. I'm talking about petabytes of data for the AI to chew on. The more data, the better the results. Next, we need to feed all of those petabytes through the deep learning algorithm that consists of billions or even trillions of parameters. I'm only drawing 9 here to save just a little bit of time. This is the training phase. And finally, inferencing. Once the training is done, it's time to move to production. This is when you type the question in ChatGPT and the AI gives you the reply in real time. So, how taxing is all of this exactly for the computing resources? Can we use just cheap servers for all of the above? Let's take a closer look. The data collection phase typically doesn't require tremendous amounts of calculation power. You just need to store the data somewhere, and that's that. You are best off with just normal servers here. Training is a whole different ballgame. As we push the data through the neural network, all parameters are being fine-tuned, and all of the training data is pushed through over and over again, as long as needed to get the reliable results. Let me say that again. Not only the massive amount of data is pushed through the whole neural network, but it's pushed through multiple times. And each time the smallest bit of data is navigating its way through the neural network, the parameters are modified. Now, this is a mind-bogglingly overwhelming task for basically any computer. And in this super hectic world, where time to market is the key, training needs to be finished fast. Months, even weeks is not enough anymore. Training needs to happen in days. So traditional servers are out of the question here. We need supercomputers with hundreds of accelerator cards. Once the initial training period is done, all the parameters will be locked, and the locked algorithm, now called a model, is moved to production. This is magnitudes easier on the computer resources and so can be run on normal servers. No need to waste money on supercomputers here. So the answer is ultimately twofold. To get the enterprise-grade AI model trained, you will definitely need all the computing power you can find. But once you are past that and you have the ready-to-use model at hand, you can just throw it on a traditional server for inferencing. And so a traditional, inexpensive server is a much better choice for production. But hold on, moving from initial training phase to inferencing is not the end of the story. In most cases, you will have to retrain your model after a while, since you notice that there's something to improve. So it's a constant back and forth from training to inferencing and back and so on. So it's clear, you do need supercomputing for enterprise-grade deep learning AI. Now the problem is, there's only a handful of companies in the world that have deep enough pockets to invest in supercomputers. So that's it? Generative AI and large language models are for the biggest corporations only? Well, not really. For one, there's public cloud. and they are offering high-performance computing as a service. This way, you don't have to invest in a hyper-expensive infrastructure yourself. Instead, you can just borrow hyperscalers' resources for the training period, and when you are done, you can just take the trained model and move to inferencing wherever you want. This is great, for example, with proof of concepts where you want to put the idea to the test. But when you are serious about large-scale training and need the high-performance computing for longer periods of time, public cloud will become ridiculously expensive. Also, many customers are not exactly excited about giving their data to AWS and Google Cloud and Azure. There are certain security concerns. And maybe most importantly, when compared to proper on-prem supercomputers, hyperscalers' high-performance computing just does not compare what comes to performance, reliability, and availability. HPE smelled an opportunity. Back in June, HPE announced that they will be entering the public cloud market with AI. What they are planning to do is pretty ingenious. They will combine the security and performance of on-prem supercomputing with the easiness of public cloud. The very same thing they have been doing with HPE GreenLake for years already. And if someone knows supercomputing, it's HPE. Out of 100 most powerful supercomputers on the planet, 34 are based on HPE infrastructure, including number 1, the world's first exascale supercomputer called Frontier, and number 3, Europe's fastest supercomputer LUMI in Finland. And out of 10 most environmentally friendly supercomputers, 6 are HPE based, including Frontier and LUMI. So in short, HPE is enabling you to train your AI models on the fastest, the most reliable, secure, and greenest supercomputers in the world, without the need to invest in the astronomically expensive infrastructure. If you ask me, this is the most exciting announcement that HPE has made. I mean, ever. Though, let's not forget, it is still only an announcement. A lot of the details are missing, and many things can still happen before it will be generally available in the US later this year. But I'm sure that in addition to me, many companies are following the progress closely. So chances are that you can indeed run your enterprise AI in production with basically any server. But for training, you do need a supercomputer. If you can't afford one, public cloud can help you get started. When you want to get serious, HPE has just the thing for you. Now, thank you for watching, and until the next video.